We shall begin our study on Tattva Bodha by Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya. We have studied the first chapter comprising the adhikaris, those who are compatible or competent or eligible. And there we have studied about the sadhana chatushtaya, the four requisite qualifications. First beginning with the viveka, then vairagya, then the shat sampatti, the six wealths, then lastly the mumukshatvam. After this, today we can begin the second chapter of Tattva Bodha. The first chapter principles will come again with our study, but we will carry on to the second chapter, and these principles will discuss when and it will be necessary and within the text. So first, let us start with the Mangala Charan, the prayer. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Vasudevendra Yogindra Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshanam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodha Bhidhiyate. Means, having saluted Sri Vasudeva, as we have said, Vasudeva here means the Antaryamin, Parameshwara, who resides in the heart of all beings and who is the king of yogis, and saluting is a guru who is a bestower of jnana, and will try to study or know the Tattva Bodha, the knowledge of the truth, which benefits the seekers, the mumukshus, after liberation. So having done with the first chapter, Adhikari, we'll come to the second chapter. It is named as, there are 5 chapters, we have said earlier, that Adhikari, then second is Atma Tattva Viveka, third is Jagat Ki Utpatti, fourth is Jiva Brahma Aikya, and the fifth is Jivan Mukta. So today we are going to start the second chapter. As we have said, the Adhikari is competent or eligible, but it may be that one may not be 100% competent right now to start this practice of knowing this knowledge truth, Tattva Bodha. But whatever we have right now, even if it is very, very little negligible, even if it is something like 0.001%, something like that, we can start with that. And with time, slowly, our competence, eligibility by the grace of Ishvara, it will increase. And by Ishvara's grace, we will realize the truth. We cannot wait that unless or until we have the full competence, eligibility, then only we'll start the journey. It's not like that. Like Sri Ramakrishna used to say, যে সমুদ্রে স্নান করতে গেলে যদি ঢেউ কখন থামবে তারপরে যদি বসে থাকি তাহলে স্নান কখনোই করা হবে না, ঢেউ থাকবে তার মধ্যে স্নান করে উঠে চলে আসতে হবে. Means, if you want to take bath in the ocean, the sea beach, you cannot wait till you think that all the waves will stop, then you'll go and bath. It is not possible. It is impossible, impractical. So waves will be there, but you have to strive in way, being careful by your own or taking support of others, and you take bath and come away this way, and to know the skill how to take bath without getting hot and without putting yourself and others in trouble. So likewise, whatever adhikari competence or eligibility we have, we must start our journey towards knowing our reality, our truth of ourselves, and through that, by grace of Lord, Ishvara will know more and more and will know the truth once by His grace. So, begin with the second chapter, which is name is Atma Tattva Viveka. We have seen that in the second of the sadhana chatushtaya, the name was Viveka. There it was written, what was Viveka? Nitya, Anitya Vastu Viveka. There it was said, here 3.1 and 3.2, that Viveka is discrimination between the eternal and non-eternal, Nitya and Anitya. And then it was described details that Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayam Eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. It was given here that Vivek is the differentiation between Nitya and Anitya, real and unreal. And which is real? Brahman alone. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahman. Brahman alone is Nitya. Tyad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Other than Brahman, everything is Anitya, unreal, or impermanent. This conviction, I am eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. This itself is called Viveka. So let us remember this definition of Viveka, Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. And in this chapter, second chapter, when again this word comes up, where it is given Atma Tattva Viveka, we'll see how it is related with the earlier definition. Here, first comes the question 8.1, Tattva Viveka Kaha. The name of the chapter is Atma Tattva Viveka. First is asking that this Tattva Viveka, what is the Tattva Viveka? Viveka, we have seen that Viveka means differentiating between one thing and another thing, two things. There, Viveka was told as Sadhana Chatushtaya, differentiating between Brahman and is Nitya, everything else is Anitya. There is eternal, true, and everything else is false or impermanent or Anitya, non-eternal. Here is asking the question is then what is Tattva Viveka? What is the Viveka, distinguishing feature of the Tattva, the truth? How to differentiate from the truth to which is untruth that way. Tattva means the truth, the knowledge, the real knowledge. So how to differentiate between which is true, which is untrue, which is the real knowledge, or which is ignorance, which is light, which is darkness, like that. So he gives the answer in 8.2. He says, Atma Satya Tad Anyat Sarvam Mithya Iti. Here he says, Atma Satya hai, usse bhinna sarva mithya hai. Atman alone is real. All things other than this Atman are unreal. This firm conviction is called Tattva Viveka. So you see, though in the earlier Viveka, it's the same thing was enumerated in a way. It was said that Brahman alone is real, Nitya, other than Satya, and other than Brahman, everything else is Anitya. Here that term was used. Here the same way it is said that Atman alone is true, everything else other than Atman is unreal. And this two terminologies and two way it is expressed. Earlier in Sadhana Chatushtaya the word was Brahman. Here it is told Atman. But we will find out later on when the later chapters will come. In Upanishads, the Mahavakya is there. I am Atma Brahma. This Atman is verily Brahman. So this is not different from Brahman. This is the same thing which is that Atman, that itself is Brahman. So that will come. So now we only have two new terminologies. Because this text shows the very basic terminologies, paribhasha of Vedantic terms. Earlier, as Sadhana Chatushtaya, we knew many terms. Here in this chapter, many more terms will come. Here, then the first term comes up, Atman. This is the new term comes up. The Viveka idea, we got it in the earlier chapter, differentiating between true and false, or eternal and non-eternal. Here also it is saying the same thing, that Atman is true, real, everything else is unreal. So the part Viveka we understand, and the part Tattva we already said, it means the truth or the knowledge of truth. And so new word comes up is Atman. So now we have to know that what is this Atman, which is, it has been said that that is true, that is real, that is eternal, and apart from, other than this Atman, everything else is false or unreal or impermanent or non-eternal. So this conviction, you will say in this chapter, know about this. Earlier only the definition was given. Now, with beginning with this Viveka, we'll dive deep into that, this idea of Atman, what it means by Atman, and what is the other thing which is mithya or unreal or non-eternal or impermanent. That we'll know in details. That's why in the very beginning he comes with the first question now. 9.1, he asks that Atma kaha, Atma kisse कहते हैं? What is Atman or who is Atman? This new terminology, what does it mean by? This is now, we are beginning with the very basics now, the terminologies of Vedanta. Earlier only the preparatory chapter was there in the first chapter, Sadhana Chatushtaya. Now the details, what this Atman, because everything, the whole Vedanta, that to realize that the truth of Atman and know first intellectually, have that conviction, then to realize that is the whole of Vedanta. So first very question he'll answer, what is Atman? There's a big definition he's giving here. We'll try to come up slowly because more new terms will come up as we go and forward now. More and more new terminologies, paribhasha, Vedantic terms will come up. So 9.2 is replying that what is Atman? He says here, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah Pancha Kosha Atitah San Avastha Traya Sakshi Satchidananda Swarupah San Yah Tishtati Sa Atma. So a big definition, many things in parts is saying that. We'll see the translation here now. स्थूल, सूक्ष्म और कारण शरीर से जो पृथक है, जो तीनों अवस्थाओं का साक्षी है. एक in the one thing is omitted in the Hindi translation, जो पंचकोश से भी अतीत है, तथा जो सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप है, वह आत्मा है. So it gives in English, that which is other than sthula, sukshma, karana, three things are given. That which is other than this sthula sharira, that which is other than the sukshma sharira, that which is other than the karana sharira. The sthula sharira, the English corresponding meaning is gross. So the gross body, sharira is body. And sukshma sharira is subtle. So sukshma sharira is subtle body. And karana sharira is causal body. So that which is vyatirikta means other than that, other than of these three things, other than these three shariras. Then pancha kosha atitah. Pancha means five. Kosha, the sheaths. So that is atita, beyond that, which is beyond this, the five sheaths. San avastha traya sakshi, that which is avastha, the states. Which states? Na traya, three states. What are the three states? It will come up later on. Which is sakshi, which is the witness of the three states, and which is also Satchidananda Swarupa. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa, which is the awareness, which is the nature of Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means existence, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. Swarupa, that is its nature. Yah Tishtati, that which is that which awareness, that is that which is that which remains, that is that awareness, that Sa Atma. So that is Atman. So here the many parts come up in the definition of Atman. First part is, it is other than the three bodies, three shariras. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. The gross, the subtle and causal body. This is the first part of the definition, which is other than. The second part is saying, which is Pancha Kosha Atitaha, which is other than, beyond the five sheaths. Third part is, which is Avastha Traya Sakshi. Three avasthas are Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Jagrat means the waking state, Swapna means the dream state, and Sushupti means the deep sleep state, where there is no dream. So, who is Sakshi? Is witness of these three states. And the fourth point he is telling is, who is Satchidananda Swarupa, who is the very nature, it is Swarupa, the very nature of Sat, Chit and Ananda, the existence, Sat, the Chit, the knowledge, and Ananda, the bliss. Is another than San Yah Tishtati. So that awareness is always there. It is never that is not there. Even all the states in the that Karana Sharira or the whatever state in the Panchakosha is beyond, is out of that even, but other than that, but is always there, it is always present, and it is as a witness for the three states of the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, of the waking, dream or deep sleep, and nature of Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, and that awareness, that Yaha Tishtati, that which is always there. It's never that it is not there. It can never be that it is not there. It is always there. That awareness is always present. So that is Atman. So here the five things comes about the first is about the three shariras, then the five koshas, then there are three avasthas, then the Swarupa, that Satchitananda Swarupa, then about the Tishtati, that awareness. Details these terms, he will describe in details each and everything. Just after this, he'll come that which is Sthula Sharira, and then he'll come take up which is Sukshma Sharira, then Karana Sharira. After that, each kosha, Panchakosha, each kosh he'll take up. Each avastha, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, waking, dream, and sleep he'll take up. Satchit Ananda also will take up, and he'll that way he'll show which is other than all those shariras, koshas, sakshi of this, witness of this avastha, he'll Atman. So again, because after this, still more definitions will come up, because we can understand that so many definitions are awaiting. Three shariras definition will be there, five koshas definition will be there, then three avasthas, sakshi, that definition will be the which is the avasthas. After that, that which is its nature, Satchidananda, it will come. So that's why before this big and long definitions, many things will come up, and some will be discussed in this chapter, and some will be taken up in the next chapter even. Many new terminologies will come up one after another. So before we directly come to these new definitions, already we know one definition. It is quite a heavy definition we are learning now. Definition of Atman. So before going to the next definitions, let us first try to discuss a little bit more about this Atman. By this definition, by 9.2. After that, clarification little bit of this idea. Then only we'll go to the next point, 10.1, Restula Sharira, that gross body. Because if we take up new definitions right now, we may just jumble up and confuse with this without getting clear about this definition itself. Many more terms will come up. So, in short, which Shankaracharya himself he will give here, will directly come about this Atma a little bit more idea in short. After that, we'll come back to this Sthula Sharira and each another details. We'll just going forward, a little bit fast forward, and we'll come back again. First, let us remember this definition of Atman, and we'll come back. Let us see, we'll just moving forward, few definitions here, and then we'll see, we'll coming to the directly to number 15. After that 8 and 9, we are directly coming to number 15. Till then, we can see in the 14 that Shankaracharya was giving the definitions of these five koshas, three avasthas, and three shariras. So we'll come later on. But before that, little bit some ideas he'll give in the 15. We'll come to this idea first. He says in number 15 of this same chapter, Atma Tattva Viveka, to get more idea on this, which is Atman. He says, Madiyam Shariram Madiyaha Prāṇāः Madiyam Manaha Cha Madiya Buddhi Madiyam Jnanam Iti Svena Eva Jnayate Yat Yatha Madhyattvena Jnatam Kataka Kundala Grihadikam Swasmat Bhinnam Tatha Pancha Koshadikam Madhyatvena Jnatam Atma Na Bhavati. A big thing he's telling, but if you understand this, it will be easy to get the earlier definition of Atma, which we just learned right now before that in number 8 and 9. He says that जैसे मेरे कंगन, मेरे कुंडल, मेरे गृह आदि अपने से भिन्न रूप से जाने जाते हैं, ठीक उसी तरह मेरा शरीर, मेरा प्राण, मेरा मन और मेरी बुद्धि, मेरा ज्ञान इस प्रकार से जाने जाते हैं. अतः ये पंचकोश आदि मेरे की तरह ज्ञात होने की वजह से आत्मा नहीं है. So here it comes the definition to give some idea about that earlier definition, because we knew what was the definition of Atman, which is different from the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. That was the definition earlier, Vyatirikta, which is beyond the five koshas, Panchakosha Atita, which was beyond the, which is a sakshi, which is a witness of Avasthatraya, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. This we learnt earlier. And fourth, which is Satchidananda Swarupaha, and which is the Yaha Tishtati, that which is that awareness, which always is. It is never that it is not there. So that is Atman. So that was the definition, negating so many things, negating the three bodies, negating the five koshas, witnessing the three states. So he says, then these things, tatha, like this, some examples he is giving here, and says, atha ye pancha kosh adi bhi, these five koshas which we already saw in the definition earlier, or these three shariras, और जिस अवस्था त्रय, these three states, are मेरे की तरह ज्ञात होने की वजह से आत्मा नहीं है. This is the important part here. The five koshas, the three shariras or the three avasthas, that also मेरे की तरह ज्ञात होने की वजह, they are also known like the English, we can see that five shells are also known by the self as my body, my pran, my intellect, like these examples are given. That's why they are not Atman. So he is giving a definition or explanation of that earlier definition of Atman. There it was only given that it is other than these five koshas, other than the three shadiras, other than the witness of the three avastha. Here says why it is all these things are not Atman. Here he gives the explanation. Here he gives a reason. He says all these things are mine. Sri Ramakrishna is telling that আমি এবং আমার এটা হলো অজ্ঞান, যেখানে আমি আর আমার বোধ থাকে যে me and mine, that there that ignorance is there. Here also says when my that both come, this is mine, then the limitation or definition or that of differentiation comes. Like he is giving a very common examples of worldly objects, like kataka kundala grihadikam. Kataka means like bangles, चूड़ी जो हाथ में जैसे चूड़ी पहनते वैसे bangles. Kundala means earrings, like earrings, wearing of earrings. And grihadika by houses. So he says that just like these bangles or earrings or houses are known as mine, arthat that shows that we know that house or bangles or earrings or any other object in this world, they are not me, myself. It is mine. We say that it is my bangle, my earring, my house. But we never identify that with myself. I am not house, neither I am bangle, neither I am earring, or any other object. We say it is mine, it is my object, my house, or it is your house, and so called. Nobody identifies those objects with his or her own self. Similarly, he says, just as all these bangles, earrings, houses, known as mine, or other than the knower, means here differentiation is coming. Knower is one person, and the known objects are different. Known objects is this outer objects are like house, bangle, earrings, and another person knower is knowing all these objects. So there's two differentiations coming. One is the known objects, another is the knower who is knowing these objects. He says, similarly, you do this vichara, do it inquiry very closely. You try to understand that this also, when we say my body, my prana, my mind, my intellect, my knowledge, we also say if we just think ourselves, we never say, though we often always, almost always identify ourselves with the body, but still then we never confuse ourselves with the body. We never says that I am body. Ami Shori, we never say, nobody. We say that my Amar Shori, even unconsciously or without taking care of the meaning, the purport of the meaning, what we say. We always say my body or my mind, my intellect, my knowledge. They are also like this, like my house, my earring, my bangle. There also we say it is my body, my prana, my mind, my intellect, my knowledge, etc. So by similarity of these two things, like outside objects, a bangle, earring, house, when it is different, the known objects are different from the knower. In the same premises, this should be also, then this my body, my pran, my mind, my intellect, my knowledge should be different from me, whoever I am. That should be different from me. Because like these houses or earrings, bangles, which are mine, it belongs to me. That is true. But I am not those objects like house or bangles. Similarly, this body, pran, mind, intellect, knowledge, etc. belongs to me. Those are mine. But I am not those things. This little bit differentiator, we have to do vichara inquiry very subtle way we could understand this thing, this concept. It very clearly says that. So this shows that when we say that Atman is other than the five chits, Atman is other than the three bodies, Atman is the witness of the three states. Similarly, that explanation or that judgment he puts, like in outer world, we say that this is my house, this is my earrings, this is my clothes, this is my family, this is my whatever outside object is there. A similar way, my own body, the part, body, mind, intellect, they're also because they belong to me, they're mine. So by same conclusion, they are not myself. They are mine, but I am not same with them. I am not identical with them. I am somewhat different. With the same conclusion comes. So this is the idea comes where he says about this Atman. And in this sloka, many wonderful things of Sanskrit grammar. You can see that wherever that it comes, the Punglinga, Strilinga, or Klivlinga, accordingly that Visheshan, everything is changing. But we are not discussing the Sanskrit grammar here, so we won't uh, dwell in that things. But it is very beautiful to see here that it changes everywhere. Like Madiyam Shariram, here it says. Then here it says Madiyaha Prāṇāha. There also when it is the it comes ekvachan, bahuvachan, dvivachan. There also that way also changes. Madhyam shariram, then madhyaha pranaha. Then again madhyam manaha. Everywhere it is not said in the same way. Then again Madhya, Buddhi. Madhya Strilinga, it becomes Buddhi. Madhya, Buddhi. Then Madhyam, Jnanam. Klivlinga, it becomes Madhyam, Jnanam. Like Shariram, there also it is Klivlinga comes. And Manam or Klivlinga, then Madhya Buddhi, the Strilinga comes. Madhya Prana, there the Punglinga comes, but again in the Bahuvachana. Madhyaha Prana. So Madhyam Jnanam, Klivlinga again. So iti Svena eva Jnayate. Like this, it is by one person, it is known and different to oneself. Tad yatha. Similarly, Madhyatvena Gyatam, like one knows that Kataka Kundala Grihadikam, bangles, earrings, houses, one knows to one belong to himself or herself, but what is that is not identified with that person, but it belongs to him, mine, by that himself. Similarly, he says, we say also the Sharir, Pran, Mana, Buddhi, Gyan, everything, it belongs to me, it is mine. Swasmat Bhinnam, because similarly, like to outside objects also, these are other than me, these are not myself, these are belongs to me, all this belongs to me, it is not myself. And a similar conclusion comes that Pancha Kosha Adhikam, all these five koshas, they belong to me. The five states which I am witness, it belongs to me. The three shariras, that it belongs to me, Madhyatvena, Gyatam Atma Nabhavati. So, like these bangles, earrings are known as mine, and all things are other than the knower. So, these five sheets, which is known by the self as my body, intellect, etc., etc., this also should also be other than myself, the knower, who am different and who is called as Atman. So all these things are not Atman but different to me but belongs to me. So this is the very wonderful definition. I give you the example here in number 15. Now here then he says, we'll again come back but before that he's asking himself, us, the Atma Tarhika, if Atman is not these five shits, if Atman is not these three states, if Atma is not these three bodies, then what else is Atman? So that question is coming. तो फिर आत्मा क्या है? Then what is the Atman? If it is not all this, then he himself gives a definition, the answers, which is given in the earlier, in that main definition earlier, that it is Satchidananda Swarupaha. So this is the only positive definition given. Everything were different. Earlier were negative definitions. So it is not the five chits. It is not that three bodies. It is not the three states. But here is the positive, asserting here that it is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha. But everywhere, that's why in Vedanta Upanishad, everywhere, mostly it is Atman is given that way, the Neti Neti. It is not this, not this, not this. Like Sri Ramakrishna gives his beautiful example, like অন্ধকার ঘরে কেউ বাবু বসে আছেন, ভৃত্য ঘরে এসে অন্ধকার ঘরে ঘরে বিভিন্ন জিনিস খুঁজে স্পর্শ করে দেখছেন যে এটা বাবু নয়, এটা বাবু নয়, এটা বাবু নয়, শেষে যখন বাবুকে ছুঁলে তখন বুঝতে পারলো. Like in a dark room, master is there, the servant comes and touches different couch and table and chair, everything. He says, no, this is not my master, this is not my master. At last he touches his master and he knows that this is my master. So this is a way of neti neti, the not this, not this. Panchakosha is, I am not this Panchakosha, I am other than. Means, in essence, whatever I know, I am not that. Like I know this outside object, outside house or bangles, earrings, so I am not that. Similarly, I know this body, I know this mind, I know this intellect. I can see my mind is happy sometimes, I can see my mind is sad sometimes, I can see my intellect is confused sometimes, I can see my intellect is very sharpened sometimes, I can see my body is in a very good state, healthy. I can see that, know that I can, my body is very weak. So whatever I am knowing, so I am different from that known object. The same essence. That's why I am not this the three bodies. I am not this five koshas, and also I am not this three states. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Whatever waking or dream or that deep sleep also, those will come up. So here it says that should be all be other than one, so there cannot be Atman. So what is in Atman? Now the positive definition comes. It is of the nature of जो सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप है. It is of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss. So this is what is called Atman. This is the first positive definition, which is Sat, which is Chit, which is Ananda, which is Swarupa. The Swarupa is nature. It is very nature is of these three things. Sat means existence, Chit means knowledge, Ananda means bliss. So this also will come in details now. What is this Sat, and what is this Chit, and what is this Ananda? So three things will come up in three questions. Sat kim, Chit kim, Ananda kaha. Sat किसे कहते हैं? What is Sat? Chit kim, Chit क्या है? What is Chit? Then Ananda kaha. Ananda क्या है? What is Ananda? So let us see these small three definitions. Then we'll again come back to the main definition where he will describe in details about that five koshas, the three shariras, three avasthanas, that. So first he said, what is Sat? He says that Kalatraya api tishtati iti Sat. Kalatraya. Three kal mein, jo teen kal means the past, present, future. Otit, Vartaman, Bhavishyat. जो तीन कालों में रहता है. Sat is that which remains, tishtati iti, which stays means stays unchanged, without any change, in the three periods of time. So this is the first definition of Sat. Then he comes, what is the definition of Chit? He says Chit is जो ज्ञान स्वरूप है. ज्ञान स्वरूप means it is of the nature of knowledge, which is of absolute knowledge. That's why Swarupa. And then Ananda kaha, there also is Sukha Swarupa. Just Sukha Swarupa, which is of the nature of absolute happiness. Why this term comes here, the adjective absolute, absolute knowledge, absolute happiness, absolute existence. Why? Because generally in life we see wherever the sukha comes, pleasure comes, happiness comes, it is always fraught with or followed by misery or sorrow. Pleasure will be followed by pain. In the whole life, it cannot be that always pleasure will be there. Pain comes. And again, always pain also not true, pleasure comes. Always it is happiness not true, then sorrow comes, misery comes. Again, it changes. And the same object can also give you this sukha or dukkha. Just for example, like we may love rasagolla or mithai and sweet. A person may be he may love these things. Suppose he is taking one sweet rasagolla or something, one or two or three or four, he will love very much. But suppose he keeps on eating more and more, or he is being forced to eat, or being out of compulsion, he has been forced to take more and more. Maybe whatever he can take 20 or 40, whatever. But after time will come, he will say is enough, I cannot take more. And if still he is forced to eat more, sometime or other, that same rasagulla or mithai will cause him nausea, or it may cause him to very bad in taste after taking a few more sweets. So that shows that same object by definition doesn't cause always pleasure. The same object in different circumstances, same object can cause pain to you. So it is not absolute happiness from that outside any object, rasagulla or anything, any experience, any outside experience in life. It will not cause you absolute happiness. In another circumstance, the same object may cause you pain also. But this Atman, which is Satchit Ananda Swarupa, here the Ananda is Sukha Swarupa, its nature of absolute happiness. When you be one with that, which is nature, there is no question of pain anymore, no question of dukkha anymore. Similarly, the Chit, definition Chit, he comes. Chit, he said that Jnana Swarupaha. Here also in the worldly life, we see that in all the knowledges, there is part of ignorance. Like the scientist Newton, he said that I am only collecting pebbles on the bank of the sea, the beach of the ocean of the infinite knowledge. Only few pebbles have collected. So more you get knowledge of world, more you know that so much which is left is there, so much unknown is still there, and you understand that your ignorance that way. It is said a story is there when Socrates was there in the in Greece. Someday there was a, as it were, uh, uh, somebody said, or as if a word, or lords or gods, some word came to a many other, that he is the person, the most knowledgeable person, who is the one only the he is the only alone person who is knowledgeable. Everybody else is ignorant. And now he thought, started thinking deeply, Socrates. How is it that he said that everybody else is ignorant and I am only knowledgeable person? He thought and thought himself very deeply, and said that he found out that I only know that after knowing so many things that I know very little. I know almost, like, I am almost ignorant. I do not know much. Even I do not know nothing almost. Like Newton said that this world I am only collecting few pebbles in this infinite ocean of knowledge. Only very few I have. So almost I am an almost next to an ignorant person. So Socrates understood that I am such a person that almost I don't know anything, but other people in the world, everywhere in the Greece maybe there, everybody thinks that he is such a knowledgeable person. Everybody else thinks about himself, his own being, everybody himself or herself. Any man there or woman thinks that he or she, himself or herself, is a very knowledgeable person, knows so many things. But he alone, Socrates, only understood that only I know that after studying or deeply thinking, that I whatever I know, it is almost nothing in comparison to the wealth of knowledge of the universe. So I only know that I'm really ignorant, and everybody thinks he's a very big himself or herself thinks a very knowledgeable person. That's why what everybody other things, they are only ultimately they are ignorant only. They are wrongly they are thinking themselves to be a great knowledgeable person. But because Socrates knows this thing that I know very little, I know very less. There is infinite knowledge in the universe. This itself is a knowledge that I am aware of my incompetence, aware of my shortcomings, aware of my real state of being, real status, where I am, how much I know or how much I do not know. It is aware of my own standard. So that shows that he himself, in the story goes that that's why that what came up that he is a knowledgeable person. See it that way. Similarly, he says that Chit Kim is Jnana Swarupaha. Chit is the nature of absolute knowledge. In every worldly knowledge, it is fraught with ignorance. But this Satchit and this Chit, this nature is of absolute knowledge, where there is no more ignorance. The says the example comes that when you know clay, you know then you know the whatever objects or dolls may be made of clay, you know that knowing clay itself, you know everything other object made of clay. Or when you know gold by gold itself, then you know whatever ornaments can be made of gold, you know you can know everything, all the ornaments, because you know gold in essence. That's why you will know this Satchit Ananda Atmana Brahman, from where this whole world manifests. So then you know everything else. You become a Sarvagya. So knowing this Atman or being one with Atman, then you have the nature of absolute knowledge. Then there is no more ignorance for you. So this is the definition of Chit, Jnana Swarupaha. Then the definition of Sat, it is there. कालत्रयोपि तिष्ठति इति सत, जो तीन कालों में रहता है, in the past, present and future, which is unchanged. Everything in this world, whatever existence is there, either human beings or any other beings, or in the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, or any other jara padartha which we think, like mountain or river or anything, that also keeps on changing. Means with time, it will come in the main definition, will come later on. It, it undergoes changes, six changes. It is said in Gita and in the Abhiśasta that six changes are Shara Vikara, said Jayate Asti Parivardhate Viparinamate Apakshyate Nashyati. Everything Jayate, it's born, then after that it comes into existence, Then parivardhati, it gets bigger and it develops. Then viparinamati, it changes, like a tadpole becomes a frog, or a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Then apakshiyate, after that the kshina, it becomes decaying. Then in the end, nashati, it destroys. So in world, everything, any living being, even any human being, any other plants, animal, or any object also, like mountain or river, it undergoes these six changes. But whatever in this world, in this existence, which is in the past and the present or future, it remains unchanged. Kalatraya api tishtati. Time changes, but this doesn't change. It doesn't undergo the six changes. Sharabika is not there. Such is that which remains unchanged in the three periods of time. That is called Sat. That is absolute existence, where these six changes doesn't occur. So this is the definition of Sat. Sat Svarupa. That is the essence, absolute existence, the nature of Sat, without undergoing any change in the three periods of time. Then Chit and Ananda we knew. So this way he gave the three definitions of Sat, Chit, Ananda, and Atman is that which is, when you differentiate that, whichever you know, you're different from that. You know you're like outside your house, earring, bangle, you're different from that. Similarly, you know your body, you know your mind, you know your this states of Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, you know the Pancha Kosha, it will come details. So that's why, though they belong to you, but you're not that. You're not identified with that. So this gave the definition, the earlier which we saw, that Sthula Sharira, Karana Sharira, Vyatirikta, which is other than the three Shariras, Pancha Koshatita, which is other than the five Koshas, Avasthatraya Sakshi, which is the witness of the three states, Satchidana Swadava, which already we read, it is absolute existence, absolute knowledge, absolute bliss, and Yahatishtati, that is always awareness, which is always there, never it is that it is not there, that is Atman, and which knows these five koshas, five shariras, which is knower of these three avasthas, and which is essence of this Sat Chit Ananda, absolute, and which is always this awareness is present, that is Atman. So this way the definition came. Now in details, each word will take up each and differently and separately. Like Sthula will take up Sthula Sharira, Sukshma, Karana, Panchakosa, five koshas will take up, three avasthas will take up, and one after another will discuss new more terminologies, paribhasha will come up, and we'll do that. We can end today with this only, and next day we'll carry on with the each shariras, each different terminologies. Now, if any more questions or any observations, comments are there, we can take up those things. কেউ কিছু প্রশ্ন বা কিছু বলতে চাইলে বলতে পারেন। আজকে এতটা রইল। কেউ কিছু জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাইলে করতে পারেন।
মহারাজ, কোনো প্রশ্ন নেই, কিন্তু মানে ওই কারণ শরীর আর সূক্ষ্ম শরীরের যে ডিফারেন্স, ওগুলো একটু জানা নেই, ওগুলো
হ্যাঁ, এগুলো তো পরের দিন শুরু করব। আজকে যেহেতু আমরা এই ডেফিনেশনের পরে একটু আইডিয়াটা ক্লিয়ার করার জন্য আমরা একদম পরের দিকে চলে গিয়েছিলাম, 9 পরে 15-তে। তো এরপরে শঙ্করাচার্য একটা করে আসবে, এই যে 10 নম্বরের স্থূল শরীর আসবে, আমরা পরের দিন সেটা নেব, কারণ এগুলো তো সময় লাগবে এক একটা। ওই জন্যই আজকে আমরা একটু পরে চলে গিয়ে আবার ফিরে আসছি, কারণ এখনই পরপর পরিভাষাগুলো নিলে একটু শক্ত শক্ত লাগতো, এতগুলো পরিভাষা একসাথে। তো আজকে একটু মূল আইডিয়াটা একটু আমাদের ধারণা হলো যে এইভাবে বোঝার জন্য যা কিছু আমরা জানি আমরা তার থেকে আলাদা, এই আইডিয়াটা আজকে শুধু বলার ছিল। সেই জন্য আমরা যে শরীর নই, আমরা যে মন বুদ্ধি নই, যেমন আমি একটা জিনিসকে দেখছি, ওই বাড়ি দেখছি বা ওই চুরি বা হাড় দেখছি, যেটা বলা হলো, যেহেতু দেখছি বলে বা জানছি বলে আমি তার থেকে আলাদা, ঠিক সেই রকমভাবে আমার শরীরকে আমি জানছি, আমার মন বুদ্ধিকে জানছি বলে আমি তার থেকে আলাদা। আত্মাকে এইটুকু আজকে এলো। পরের দিন উনি একটা করে আসবেন, স্থূল শরীর আসবেন, সূক্ষ্ম শরীর, প্রত্যেকটা আসবেন। আমরা সবকটাই আসবো আস্তে আস্তে পরের দিন, ওগুলো অনেক সময় লাগবে একটু করে। কারণ শরীর আসবেন, অবস্থাত্রয় 3টে অবস্থা আসবেন, এরপরে ওই কোষগুলো আসবেন, পঞ্চকোষও আসবেন, সবগুলো করে তো লাস্টে উনি তখন বলবেন তাহলে এই যেটা আজকে দেখলাম আমরা, যে যা কিছু আমরা জানছি, আমরা পঞ্চকোষকে জানছি, তার 3টে অবস্থা জানছি, 3টে শরীরকে জানছি, সেই জন্য আমরা সেটি নই। আত্মার যে ডেফিনেশন দিলেন, সেই জন্য তার থেকে আত্মা আলাদা। আত্মা তাহলে কি, সেটা সচ্চিত আনন্দ স্বরূপ। এটা আজকে আমরা পড়লাম। পরের দিন আমরা এগুলো একটা একটা করে আসবো, এর মধ্যে অনেকগুলো ছোট ছোট বিষয় আসবেন। সেটা সম্পূর্ণ এই অধ্যায়ে বলবেন না, কিছুটা এই অধ্যায়ে আসবে, পরের অধ্যায়তে সেটা আবার কন্টিনিউ করবেন। সেই জন্য আমরা বারবার আগেরটা ফিরে আসবো। যেমন এখন যদি জাস্ট স্থূল শরীর ডেফিনেশনটা যদি দেখি, এর মধ্যে অনেক কিছু থাকবে, অনেক কিছু বড় এখানে ডেফিনেশন দেওয়া আছে। তা ওই জন্যই আজকে আমি সেটা চাইছি না এটা করতে। সূক্ষ্ম শরীরেও সেগুলি আসবে, আমরা নামটা শুধু পড়ে নিতে পারি আজকে কি দেওয়া আছে। যেমন স্থূল শরীর আর সূক্ষ্ম শরীরে বলা হয়েছে, স্থূলতে বলছেন যে পঞ্চীকৃত পঞ্চমহাভূতैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं সুখ দুঃখাদি ভোগায়তনম শরীরম। আমরা যদি এই অংশটা শুধু দেখি সূক্ষ্ম শরীরের ডেফিনেশনে, কারণ শরীর তো আরো পরে আসবে, কারণ শরীরের আরো অনেক পরে আছে। সূক্ষ্ম শরীরেও ওই কথাটা বলা আছে, শুধু একটা পার্থক্য এখানে দেওয়া আছে। স্থূলতে যেমন বলা আছে পঞ্চীকৃত পঞ্চমহাভূতাই, স্থূল শরীরে বলা রয়েছে অপঞ্চীকৃত পঞ্চমহাভূতাই। দিস ইজ দ্য ডিফারেন্স। Sthula Sharir is said Panchakrita Pancha Mahabhutai. Now what is this Pancha Mahabhuta? It will come later on. इसलिए वो बाद में हम लोग आएंगे, it will come in the next chapter, third chapter. और भी डिटेल्स और भी टर्मिनोलॉजी आएंगे। फिर पंचीकृत पंचीकरणी क्या है वो भी आएंगे नेक्स्ट चैप्टर, थर्ड चैप्टर। सो स्थूल शरीर ही सेज पंचीकृत, सूक्ष्म शरीर सेज अपंचीकृत। दिस इज डिफरेंस। दोनों में ही सेज पंच महाभूत, बट वन इज पंचीकृत, वन इज अपंचीकृत। Then both he is saying Kritam Sat Karma Janyam. In the Sthula Sukshma, both he is saying. Both he is saying Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam. Both. Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatam Shariram. Both. Then in Sthula Sharir he says Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinmate Apakshyate Vinashyati. This is what I just said when I said about that Sat Swarupa, Satchidananda. I said that the Shara Vikara, he says Iti Shara Vikara Veda Tat Sthula Shariram. This will come again later on. That 6 changes, Shara Vikara, Asti Jayate, that existence comes, takes birth, Vardhate, develops, Viparinamate, changes, like caterpillar led to butterfly or tadpole to frog, Apakshyate decays, Vinashyati destroys. This Shara Vikara, these 6 changes, Vikaravat Eta Sthula Shariram. This 6 changes. Then Sukma Sharir he comes. There Pancha Gyanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Prāṇādaya, Manascha Eka, Buddhischa Eka, Evam Sapta Dasha Kalabhi Saha Yaha Tishtati Tat Sukma Shariram. Here 17 things he'll tell. Pancha Gyanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Prana 5, 15, then Mana 16 and Buddhi 17. That is Sapta Dashakala Hivattishtati Tat Sukshma Sharir. That also will come details. What are these Gyanendriya, what are these Pran, everything will come details. So today we can think, we won't go in details. Next day we'll start again from the Sthula Sharira. ঠিক আছে, আজকে তাহলে এটার আমরা বিস্তারে যাচ্ছি না। আজকে শুধু আমি ডেফিনেশনটা নিলাম, আত্মার ডেফিনেশন নিলাম, আর যা কিছু আমরা জানছি, যা কিছু আমরা জ্ঞান অর্জন করছি, জ্ঞাতা যে সেই জ্ঞাত বস্তু থেকে আলাদা, সেই জন্য আত্মা এর থেকে আলাদা, এই স্থূল শরীর সব শরীর কোষ থেকে আলাদা, এটি বলা হলো। আত্মা তাহলে কি সেটাও বলা হলো, সচ্চিদানন্দ স্বরূপ অ্যাবসলিউট, সেটাও বলা হলো। আজকে এইটুকু নেওয়া হলো। আর যেগুলো থেকে আলাদা, যেগুলির জ্ঞান হচ্ছে, এই শরীর কোষ বা অবস্থা, সেগুলি পরের দিন আসবে। কেমন? তাহলে আমরা এখানে শেষ করি আজকে মঙ্গলাচরণের এই শ্লোকটি নিয়ে। আর তো কোনো প্রশ্ন বা জানার তো কিছু নেই, বা কেউ কিছু বলতে চাইলে বলতে পারেন। ঠিক, তাহলে আমরা এখানে শেষ করছি। এই শ্লোকটি আবার পড়ে নেব। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्र नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधभिधीयते। অর্থাৎ বাসুদেব মানে এখানে যিনি বাসুদেব অর্থাৎ যে অন্তর্যামী, যে পরমেশ্বর সকলের জীবের সকল ভূতগণের হৃদয়ে আছেন, বিরাজ করছেন, যিনি যোগীন্দ্র, যিনি সকলের যোগীর তিনি শ্রেষ্ঠ যোগীরাজ, এবং তিনি যে স্বয়ং গুরু, তাকে যিনি আমাদের জ্ঞান প্রদান করেন, তাকে প্রণাম জানিয়ে, যিনি এবং তার মাধ্যমে মুমুক্ষুণাং, যারা তাকে জানতে চান, তাকে জানলেই মোক্ষ বা মুক্তি পাওয়া যায়, তাদের হিতার্থ, তাদের হিতের জন্য, তাদের ভালো কল্যাণের জন্য এই তত্ত্ববোধ, যাতে এই তত্ত্ব, এই যে সত্যরে যেগুলি বলা হবে, তার যে বোধ যেখান থেকে আসবে, ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল কনসিয়াসনেস, সেই বোধটি আসবে, সেই বিষয় অভিধিয়তে বিস্তার করে বলা হয়েছে। এটা দিয়ে আজকে শেষ করব। পরের দিন আজকে তাহলে আমরা আত্মার ডেফিনেশনটি নিলাম। আত্মা কাকে বলে, আত্মা কাকে বলে না, সেটি বলা হলো। এই পাঁচটি কোষ, তিনটি শরীর আত্মার নয়, এটি বলা হলো। যা কিছুকে জানা হয় সেটি আমি নই, এটি বলা হলো। আমি কি, সেটি বলা হলো সচ্চিৎ আনন্দ স্বরূপ। সৎ কি, চিৎ কি, আনন্দ কি, এটাও আজকে বলা হলো। ইটস নেচার, অ্যাবসলিউট, সেটি বলা হলো। এরপরে আমি যেটা থেকে আলাদা, যাকে আমি জানছি, সেই কোষগুলি, শরীরগুলি এবং অবস্থাগুলি পরের দিন বলা হবে। এবং তৃতীয় অধ্যায়তে সেটা আরো বিস্তার করবেন। পঞ্চমহাভূত কি, পঞ্চীকরণ কি, সেগুলো আরো আসবেন ধীরে ধীরে, স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ আমরা নিতে থাকবো। আজকে তাহলে আমরা এখানে শেষ করলাম। সবাই ভালো থাকুন। ওম শান্তি শান্তি শান্তি। হরি ওম তৎসৎ। শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণার্পণমস্তু।